This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Brendan Sorsby looking to return to college football. Texas Tech QB filing an injunction against the NCAA seeking eligibility for the 2026 season. Sorsby seeking treatment for a gambling addiction after revealing he placed thousands of bets on sports. Number one player in ESPN's transfer portal rankings, Sorsby moved from Cincinnati to Texas Tech, projecting to be one of the highest paid players in the sport at more than $5 million for next season. Conference finals set in the NBA. In the East, the Cavs win Game 7 last night to take on the Knicks this week, while the Thunder and the Spurs open up the Western Conference Final tonight. Game 1 tip 8:30 Eastern, coverage beginning at 8 Eastern right here on ESPN Radio. NFL Spring League meetings beginning tomorrow. Minnesota, the likely host for the 2028 NFL Draft, pending owner approval. Organizers led by Minnesota Sports and Events Commission submitted a bid in March for the events.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, I'll tell you why James Harden is the player with the most on the line in the Knicks-Cavs series. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Cassie Spazzale.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muse. Not nearly as cool as T-Swizz. And Mr. Toby Topley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Pelicans have hired a new coach. Jake Madison's here in 15 minutes. Adam Rittenberg covers the Big Ten and college football for ESPN. He's here next hour. David DeLucci, hour 3. Ton to do. Let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
We will get to Jake Madison again in about a dozen minutes from right now. At long last, the Pelicans do have a coach. It's Jamal Mosley, first reported by Shams. It was a Shams bomb. Yeah. Pelicans have confirmed it. So we'll talk about it with Jake Madison, get some opinions on that coming up here in just a little bit. LSU baseball was swept by Florida over the weekend. And it is an historic thing that happened, not hyperbole. A lot of us say, man, I can't remember a time in my life LSU was this bad. And like if you're younger than 50 years old, then that's true. Because with LSU finishing 9-21 in the Southeastern Conference in baseball, this means this is the first time since the 75-76 school year that LSU football, men's basketball, and baseball all finished sub 500 in SEC play. So if you're younger than 50 years old, then, yeah, this is the worst year for LSU sports in your life. So it's certainly the worst in mine. So I figured, you know what? To put some context on this, we should probably just go ahead, crank that DeLorean up to 88, and do a time machine.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? Okay. Time circuit's on. Flux capacitor. Fluxing. Engine running. All right.
Hey, Doc, you better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Let's go. Crank that thing up, Muse. Crank it up. Here we go. Sing it, Huey. We're going back to 1975-76 school year right over there on Nicholson. Tiger Stadium at the time had yet to add the West Upper, seating just 76,000 people. I'm sorry, 67,000 people. It probably featured a young Richard Condon, probably about 15-year-old Big C at that point. Going just loving his Tigers. Driving up in the El Camino from the channel to watch the Tigers go 4-7, 1-5 in the league. Buse, you want to guess who those 4 wins were against on the season?
Let's see.
Oh, you saw my sheet earlier.
Yeah, I don't remember all of them, though. Tulane.
They did beat Tulane.
Rice.
They got Rice.
South Carolina.
And that was a non-conference game.
Okay, and I don't remember the other one.
The one conference win, Muse. Thank God for Kentucky.
Hey-o.
Got them Wildcats. Men's basketball was 12-14. They were 5-13 in the league. Thank God for Kenny Higgs. He averaged 22 a night, or that 12-14 might have been about a 2-win team. You know what I mean? And how about the baseball Tigers, Muse? Woo! Went back and checked this little ditty. Baseball Tigers were 19-23. Conference record of 11-12.
Almost made it, man.
And they were paced by a little try-hard infielder.
Yeah?
The little engine that could is what they called him. One Paul Maneri.
Hey-o.
On the season, Paul was 16 of 91 at the plate, hitting a cool 175.
That's not what we were looking for there.
He did have 2 stolen bases on the season. I'm going to tell you what. The reason there weren't more, that's when he bred the love of the P-Money Special.
Yeah.
The old hit and run. Paul Maneri was on that team. I gotta get Coach on to ask him about that. Oh, man. Well, if you were maybe deciding you weren't going to go to Tiger Stadium to watch LSU play Tulane, instead catch a movie, #1 flick in the country at the time. How about Jaws?
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Damn right you are. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was a blockbuster. And how about the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Cassie, do you have any idea what that is? Any idea whatsoever?
No.
No doubt. The only reason I know the song is because at every Catholic St. Joe's dance, that was one of the safe songs that they could actually play.
But yeah, it makes
One
sense.
time they messed up and played Make 'Em Say, and you had 400 white suburban preppy kids like in a mosh pit at the St. Joe's Academy gym. Never again. Still see Brad Messina getting swallowed up by all of us. What up, T-Dog? Man, you're on your way to the PMAC on a cold winter afternoon to watch those 12-14 Tigers get paced by Kenny Higgs in his 22 points a game. You might have been listening to Captain and Tennille.
Stop, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I've been thinking of you. Look in my heart and let love
I'll tell you
keep us
this.
together.
The thing I know most about Captain and Tennille is I think they were on an insurance commercial a few years ago. That sound familiar? Maybe a Geico commercial?
Like a few, you're about like a few years ago.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah, no, that does not sound familiar to me
Like
at all.
within the last 10 years, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what. Now, this is one that gets me into the subcockles of my heart. As a giant Elton John fan, I've heard stories of my dad when he was in the Navy being in Philadelphia watching Elton John live sing Philadelphia Freedom. 'Cause I live and breathe this Philadelphia freedom. From the day that I was born, I waved the flag. Philadelphia freedom took me knee high to a man. Here we go. Every piece of my daddy never had. Did you keep shining the light part or no? All right, here we go. We're gonna keep it going. Hughes, I don't care if we get banned on YouTube. We're doing it. Shine the light through the eyes of the one left behind. Shine the light, shine the light, shine the light. Won't you shine the light? Philadelphia freedom, love. Oh, God, that ended abruptly. Angelina Jolie was born in 75.
Hey, there we go. Happy
Charlize
birthday.
Theron, Bradley Cooper, Kate Winslet. Old Rose DeWitt Bukater, born in 1975. Michael Bublé, Will.I.am, also born in 75. Allen Iverson, A-Rod, David Beckham, Bend It Like Beckham, all 75 birthdays there. Oh, another mega hit. How about that John Denver's full of, man.
Well, I got me a fine wife, I got the old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
I always think of the scene from Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore. You ever see that?
Haven't seen it.
God!
Sorry.
Turn that a little louder, Muse. Not loud enough right now. Hey, how about this? Debuting Christmas Day, 1975, the world premiere of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Never seen it.
Neither.
Blues Brothers debuted on SNL January 17th of 76. That would have been during that miserable basketball season. Taking your attention away from Kenny Higgs and his 22 points a game.
22 points a game, good.
Family Feud debuted there. Yeah! God bless Steve Harvey. And who's the guy, Ray something or other? He got
Ray?
suicide. Yeah. He was the
gosh.
second host. There was the original host who was the old guy who was kind of a hornball, who used to kiss all the ladies on the show.
Yeah,
And then there was a little short guy, Ray something or other. He died. He committed suicide. And then now it's Steve Harvey.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
Rip, man.
Speaking of sad, Muse, the Reds beat the Red Sox in Game 7 of the 1975 World Series.
They did.
Ha!
That happened.
Take that, Muse.
Yep.
Curse of the Bambino.
It was the heart of it.
Steelers beat the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. That was the 21-17 final. Celtics beat the Suns in 6 games to win the 1976 NBA Finals. Oklahoma was your national champion in 75 during that miserable LSU football season. Bob Knight's Indiana Hoosiers, the 1976 basketball national champions.
I was the last person to go in the locker room. I don't remember just going in and really raising hell with them. I think I did it very quietly. And I brought up when I talked to them before the season started about their abilities to go through the season undefeated. And you're just wasting something here that you'll remember forever.
And a boy, Bob Knight. Castro died in 1975. Bunch of other old people I don't really recognize died in 1975. Look, let's be honest. If you died in 1975, you were... Oh, Steve Prefontaine died in 1975.
Hey, there you go. There's one you recognize.
That's Prefontaine. Oh, did I mention Muse? The 1976 College World Series champion.
You didn't mention this.
No, when old P-Money and the Tigers didn't make it into postseason play, unfortunately.
Who did?
They got to watch from their television sets, assuming the 76 College World Series was on TV. I don't think it was.
If it was the only college baseball game on TV that year.
Probably, yeah. Arizona.
Ah, the Wildcats.
Yeah. They beat Eastern Michigan.
Man. Who says the cold weather schools can't play baseball? Come on now.
There might have been 6 teams playing baseball in that.
Probably.
There you have it. 1975-76. A school year that will live in infamy. 50 years ago, the last time LSU was this just completely pathetic in the 3 major men's sports, finishing with a sub-500 record in conference play in football, men's basketball, and baseball. Let's do better next year, fellas. Can we please? Can we all get behind this? Can we get behind this idea? Can we please get behind this
I'm
idea?
behind. How about 3 winning records? How about that?
Man. Okay. All right, it's after further review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Baseball Tigers, maybe raise a cold one. This will be the last week that we'll get to talk about the defending. Well, I guess we can make it all the way through the College World Series, but if you see any of the lingering Bud Light National Champion aluminum bottles or cans, grab them. Limited supply right now. But keep one for as a keepsake. Drink another just to forget about this miserable season. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, quick break. Pelicans have a coach. Finally, Jake Madison's here next. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Pools, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. You know, I tell you all the time that Duplessis Pools will build you a beautiful pool that will last, and that there's a lot of pool builders that will build beautiful pools. The difference, though, with Duplessis Pools is they take the time to do it right, while they can offer you the 10-year workmanship warranty when the industry standard is 1 year. Like, here's an example. At Duplessis Pools, they use mini pebble plaster, so that's the best plaster you can use. It actually comes with a lifetime warranty from the manufacturer. So that plaster comes with a lifetime warranty. Couple that with Duplessis' 10-year workmanship warranty on their work, and you can understand how they are building you a premium product that will be beautiful, that is built to last. It's Duplessis Pools. Check them out online. Pick out your features online. Start that process today. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit SpineCenterLA.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I don't mind Jamal Mosley. I mean, he had 5 years in Orlando. He took him to the playoffs the last 3 years. Only won 46% of his games, but took him to the playoffs the last 3 years. 2 of those 3 years were winning records. Couldn't get out of the first round, but he can coach. He can develop. I like him a lot, and I think that this is a good hire.
Stephen A. on First Take reacting to the Pelicans, making it official. Jamal Mosley is the new coach. Jake Madison's good enough to hang out with us here for a couple minutes to react to it. Of course, the Locked On Pelicans podcast. He's on Twitter at NOLAJake. That's where you get him. Jake, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on to talk some hoops here.
I mean, it feels like this was a process that took forever. Let's just start with a reaction to the to getting it across the finish line with Mosley. First thought?
Yeah, look, it's a safe hire is the way I would describe this. The Pelicans did cast a bit of a wide net on this. They really did want to interview some more people for this job. We heard names like Rajon Rondo, Darvin Ham, Steve Hetzel, but at the end of the day, Jamal Mosley was the person they wanted. They could have made a hire before this, but they wanted to wait to see what happened with him in Orlando. They wanted to give him time, I think, to figure out if he wants to coach again or just take 2 years off, essentially getting paid after being fired. So this is the guy that they wanted. Jamal Mosley is definitely a floor raiser for this team. I do wonder what his ceiling could be as a head coach, but it's a safe hire if the Pelicans want to try and be respectable again next year.
Is there anyone, Jake, I was having this conversation with some friends today who sort of felt meh about the hire. And I asked, is there literally anyone the Pelicans could have realistically hired that would have gotten you excited? And got a lot of blank stares. How would you answer that, Jake? Was there someone that this team could have hired that would have gotten like a yeah reaction?
I don't know if there's someone that would have gotten a yeah reaction like that. And I think, the people you've talked to kind of being like, meh, about this sort of thing is probably how a lot of people feel about it, right? That's kind of why it feels safe. It's just, yeah, that'll be fine. I think there are hires they could have made that would have gotten a reaction from me being like, oh, that's different. And outside of the MO of how this franchise has operated under Joe Dumars for the past year. If you remember how they hired Dumars, they fired David Griffin and then basically immediately had Dumars ready to go. There wasn't much of a process at all towards hiring him, and that's why at the time I called it a lazy hire. This feels a little bit in the same vein of that. As soon as Willie Green was fired in November, they were linked to Jamal Mosley, and that's kind of interesting because he had a job. He was a head coach of a playoff team, and it just seemed like a foregone conclusion that they were going to hire him. And as this process dragged on, it felt even more like it was going to be Jamal Mosley. So, you could have maybe not had a yay or excitement type of hire outside of maybe Rajon Rondo, but even then that would have been a very risky move. But there could have been a move that we go, oh, that's a little bit different. And I think for a fan base that doesn't have a ton of faith in the team right now, that could have gone a long way. And I think when you look at their perception around the league of this franchise, this is what most people felt like was going to happen. And being predictable like that is how trades like the Derek Queen trade on draft night a year ago ends up happening, I think. And so it just feels more like, yeah, this is how the team operates, which is why you get that kind of like middling reaction to it.
Jake Madison's with us at NOLA Jake is where you can get him on X. Of course, subscribe to Locked On Pels podcast or YouTube, whichever you prefer. When I think of Mosley, again, I don't watch the Orlando Magic every day, Jake, but what I sort of gather is a guy that improved Orlando defensively each year he was there. How does Mosley fit with the Pelicans roster as it's currently constructed?
So that's the big question. You can debate Mosley, the head coach. I don't think he's a bad head coach. I don't think he's a great head coach. And he gets a lot of defensive effort out of his teams. You will absolutely see that. And he had a top 5 defensive unit for a number of years with Detroit here. With Orlando. But the questions were fit on offense and all of the other things to elevate them. And, when I look at that franchise, they had 2 kind of interesting star players in Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner that they could just never really make fit together. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and now Zion Williamson and Derek Queen. And that, to me, is kind of the biggest question I have about Jamal Mosley. Is he going to be able to make those 2 players fit and build a competent offense around those 2 players? Because when you look at both of them on the court for New Orleans this past year, the team was really bad. And when only one of them was on the court without the other, the team was significantly better. Still not good, but significantly better. And now it's going to be on this head coach who couldn't optimize 2 players in Orlando to try and optimize 2 players who actually probably have a worse fit than Banchero and Wagner did. And that's what kind of concerns me. And you mentioned the defensive side of the ball with everything. Look, the Pelicans were a good defensive team under Willie Green for a number of years. They had back-to-back years where they finished ranked 7th best in defense. it wasn't like that went away from Willie Green trying to coach that. It's the roster got worse, and they struggled with defensive rebounding, and they gave up too many second chance points, which is going to absolutely tank your defense. Jamal Mosley can coach his heart out with this team, right? But if you don't have someone that's physically capable of defensive rebounding and upgrading that center spot, you're still going to be middling on that side of the ball, and that's what concerns me. You know, when we look at the job that James Borrego did last year, I think he did about as good of a job as you could, given the roster limitations. And so if you don't dramatically change the roster, is the head coach kind of rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic in a larger sense? And I think that's still the big question here. This should only be part of the offseason of change for New Orleans, not the whole offseason of change for New Orleans. So they still need to make some bigger changes to the roster, and I don't know what the plan is for that or if they even really want to do that, because we've heard Joe Dumars kind of double down on this current squad, saying they can be competitive and they want to be competitive. And when I look at the roster, look, I don't know if you put Phil Jackson on this team, right, if he would be able to get a better defensive effort out of these guys.
Let me ask a follow-up there. So is there a player or players on this roster that you do think can be maximized under Mosley?
Yeah, I think if you look at some of what he's done there, he did a really good job with a lot of their guard play. So I think you could see a guy like Jeremiah Fears really taking steps forward in the type of offense that they want to run. I think you would even see Derek Queen kind of be a Paolo Banchero kind of offensive hub that he was at times in Orlando too. So, you know, I've always looked at the pieces here in New Orleans, and they seem good. There's talent here. It's just it doesn't fit particularly well. So individually, you'll get good performances. But will this franchise end up feeling like greater than the sum of its parts? And I think the answer to that, at least in my opinion, is a resounding no. Otherwise, we would have seen it by now at this point in time. So I still think it has more to do with just a roster mismatch than the head coach being a guy that comes in and dramatically changes things. But no doubt you'll get probably better defensive effort than we've seen from Zion Williamson, you would hope. You know, Trey Murphy has room to take a real big leap on that side of the ball. And you've seen Jamal Mosley kind of get those type of defensive performances from players.
Jake, last thing for you. We know the draft situation. They got one pick. It's a late two. Is there anything throughout this offseason they can do or that you might expect they do to improve the roster year one under Mosley?
Yeah, they have to upgrade the center spot. You know, you can't run a front court out there of Zion Williamson and Derek Queen and expect to be truly competitive in the Western Conference next year. And the Western Conference could be brutal. Let me tell you that. Memphis and Sacramento are the only teams that aren't actively trying to win games next year. So 13 out of the 15, including New Orleans, wants to make the playoffs. Your margin for error is very slim. They have to upgrade the center spot. They need to improve in defensive rebounding. They're just making themselves work too hard. Last year, they gave up about a third of 33% or so of offensive rebounds to their opponent. That's essentially meaning that for every 3 defensive possessions, you're playing 4. You're going to get exhausted. That's going to affect your offense late in games when your legs are tired. They need to improve that, and if they do, this team could take a pretty dramatic step forward. Keep an eye out on a potential Herb Jones trade. He's someone that could probably get you a quality starting center back. You know, and I think that's the type of move that you're looking. Herb Jones, a first-round pick, maybe Herb Jones, Jordan Poole, something along those lines to get a higher salary player back that I think would really elevate the floor of this team.
If you're not subscribed to Locked On Pelicans, great opportunity to do so right now. Podcast, YouTube, or both if you'd prefer. He's Jake Madison at NOLA Jake. I know it's going to be a busy few days and weeks, man. Thanks for the time. We always appreciate it.
Of course, I'm literally going to go record the reaction show now, so it'll be posted soon. So I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, man. Y'all go get subbed. That's Jake Madison, Locked On Pels. Again, podcast or YouTube. Subscribe. All right, we appreciate Jake. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Man, incredible deals right now at South Point Volkswagen. $3,500 customer bonus on 2026 Cross Sport. Like, that's the vehicle that I drive, is the Cross Sport, which is, it's the Atlas that takes the third row out, right? The Atlas is the 3-row 7-seater family SUV. You take that third row out if you don't need that extra space. That's the Cross Sport. Great deals right now on all different Volkswagen models. How about the brand new Taos, which is the compact SUV, $1,500 off right now, customer bonus. Check it out. Great deals always over at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. In 1 hour, we'll talk to Adam Rittenberg of ESPN. Covers college football and primarily the Big Ten, based out of the Big Ten. Big Ten spring meetings are going on in California. So the Big Ten coaches now are staunchly and aggressively pushing for a 2014 playoff. So I want to dive into that a little bit with Adam Rittenberg. Listen, I readily understand that I am in a gross minority here of people that do not want a 2014 playoff. I get it. Like, I'm over here on an island that's not very populated. I get it. That's okay. Like, I'm not yelling at you. You're probably still yelling at me because that's kind of how this works. But it's good. But I'm interested in maybe why the Big Ten leadership and their coaches are being so vocal now. So we'll get to that with Adam Rittenberg in about an hour. It does look like, man, college football's postseason is changing, and the majority right now is in opposition to the SEC, which wants 16, and everybody else wants 24. So we'll get to that in about an hour. All right, it's After Further Review. Quick break. We'll go around the SEC, and the Brendan Sorsby lawsuit has taken its next step. We'll dive into that as we continue. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
REV, RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com. Write it down. Punch it into your smartphone if you're at your desk right now. RevFiber.com. Check them out. RevFiber.com. It's exactly what it says it is. It's an all-fiber network. So if you're talking about internet, cable, telephone, security, home automation, we're talking about internet speeds up to 5 gigs backed by the security and stability of an all-fiber network. That's Rev Fiber. R-E-V, RevFiber.com. For your home or for your business, highly recommend you check it out for so many reasons. You're going to get faster internet, better service, local company, by the way, call center not shipping you overseas. The call center's here. So you're talking to someone locally when you do call for service. And you're going to get a better price. So you're getting better service and all fiber network at a better price. It's Rev Fiber. Check them out online at RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with World.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I fully respect due process and the legal system in this country. But generally speaking, that's when someone's accused of a crime and then they have the opportunity to defend themselves in court. We have a presumption of innocence until guilt is proven. And it has to be that way. Otherwise, like, I could accuse Muse of anything. And it's just, well, now it's the burden's on him to prove he didn't do something. No, I'm the accuser. I have to prove he did it. It makes sense. I think we all get that. When we talk about civil cases, like Brendan Sorsby suing the NCAA for eligibility, I wonder sometimes if these attorneys that file these lawsuits actually believe their own bull stuff. So Brendan Sorsby, you know the story by now. Transferred from Cincinnati. So he started his career at Indiana, went to Cincinnati. Now he's transferred to Texas Tech here this offseason on a very lucrative NIL deal. And it has since been revealed that Sorsby has a long history of betting on sports while he's a college athlete. Even when he was at Indiana as a freshman, betting on Indiana games while he was on the team. Now, he says he didn't bet against his team or against his teammates. It didn't negatively influence the games. He didn't use information he had, whatever. But I'm sitting here reading through the filing today from Sorsby's attorneys as they have filed an injunction seeking eligibility for Sorsby in 2026. Because the rule is black and white. The NCAA rule is black and white. If you bet on sports, you're ineligible. Period. There's a ton of documentation of Brendan Sorsby betting. He's even admitted it in this filing. He even said that he was betting on his team to make him closer to his team. What? It's preposterous. I mean, and then I read the filing from the attorney. And in part it reads, talking about the NCAA. Instead of exercising compassion, the NCAA has responded with silence, repeated information demands, and delay. The NCAA's response reflects a self-protective bureaucracy that has abandoned its professed commitment to student-athlete well-being and that ignores the contractual and legal obligations it owes to student-athletes. Yeah, but did he bet on sports? Oh, he did? Yeah, he's ineligible. I mean, vilifying the NCAA is fine. And it's a flawed organization that has become increasingly obsolete over the many decades as revenues have grown and major college sports look more like professional sports and less like amateur sports. I'm not sure if you know this, though, but if pro athletes bet on sports, they're in a whole heap of trouble, too. I say this again, y'all, and I have no vested interest whatsoever in Texas Tech. This isn't like LSU guy coming out against the Texas Tech quarterback. The only time in my recollection Texas Tech and LSU have ever played was that 2015 Texas Bowl when Leonard Fournette ran for a bajillion yards against Patrick Mahomes' Texas Tech team. Have they played any other? You know, have they played any other games?
I don't. I can check, though.
There was a basketball, I think, an SEC Big 12 Challenge a few years ago when LSU and Texas Tech played
Mac
basketball.
McClung, yeah.
Was there any baseball games that you can remember?
Yeah, they played him in Houston in the Shriners deal one year.
Yeah, that
I don't
sounds
remember.
familiar.
2015, I think, maybe.
Okay. Point is, don't care about Texas Tech. It's just ridiculous. And I'll say it again. I'm the guy who is the most extreme illustration of someone who is pro-student athlete, pro-NIL, pro-transfer portal. Like, I am so far on the other hemisphere of this conversation than most of the sports-loving world. I want them to make all the money, transfer as much as they want, all that stuff. But you have to have rules. And every NCAA member institution agrees willingly to abide by the NCAA's rules. There is a black and white rule that says if you bet on sports, you're ineligible. He bet on sports, he's ineligible. And I'm going to say this again, that the biggest coward in this entire process is the university president. Because the one person that could put a stop to this immediately, or persons, go to Ole Miss with the Chambliss thing, or Tennessee with the Joey Aguilar thing. All of the athletes suing the NCAA for eligibility, get injunctions, because they just want to be able to make money in NIL, which I get, and I'm for, within the context of the rules of the NCAA. Lawrence Chovanec is the president of Texas Tech. I'm sure he's a brilliant academician who's super into higher ed and all that means. Unless you're talking about making our quarterback ineligible, and so our football team won't be as good, and so then we won't get national exposure and make money because we need that for our university and all. So, yeah, go ahead and sue. You want to put an end to this immediately? If Lawrence Chovanec, the president of Texas Tech, had a spine, he would step up and say, Mr. Sorsby, I'm sorry, but you're ineligible. We are a member of the NCAA, a willing member of the NCAA. You broke their rule. You are ineligible. Period. But he won't, because he's a coward, like all the others, who understand more so they are driven by money and attention to their university that the football program brings. And it's more about that than fairness and equity and all that sort of stuff. So Lawrence I grow tired sometimes of listening to the whiny ninnies in academia, and you know who you are, there's plenty of them in this town, who love to complain about how much emphasis goes on sports. Well, point the finger at your own here, man. Because you want to put an end to this nonsense? The one that could is the university president. And he doesn't have a spine. None of them do. Because they're the ones that allow this stuff to perpetuate itself. Like, Brendan Sorsby should never play another snap of college football, period. Had the same situation with Hunter Deckers a few years ago. He's at Iowa State. He was having a really good career. They found out he bet on sports. Boom. Ineligible. He goes and plays like JUCO or, I don't know, NAIA, whatever he played at. Because he was done. He was ineligible by the NCAA. This isn't hard. It's black and white. I mean, the attorneys with this filing, it's just preposterous to sit there and read it. It's like, I'm sorry, do you think I'm stupid? Like, do you think I'm that dumb? It's almost insulting that you think we are all that stupid to believe that nonsense. Who does actually believe it? Unless if you're just a rah-rah Texas Tech fan. Man. All right. It's after further review. We're brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com. ParrishBuilt.com. It's me, Terrio, Tilly, Joe, our great staff. We'd love to help you out. Look, storm season is 2 weeks away. If you're getting ready for storm season, great opportunity to let us come do a free, no-obligation roofing inspection now. Parrish Construction and Roofing. It's free. We'll get up on your roof. We'll inspect it, give you a full inspection report. If there is an issue, we can take care of it with a slight repair. If it's time for a new roof, help you out there as well. give us a shout or go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Just fill out the form on the homepage. We'd love to help you out. Repairs, replacements, commercial, residential. We do gutters and soft wash as well. It's Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference.
Texas A&M! Five-star offensive tackle Mark Matthews out of the state of Florida, the number 11 overall player. He has committed to the Aggies over his home state Miami Hurricanes. LSU, Georgia were among the other finalists. 6'6", 300-pounder out of the state of Florida has picked the Texas A&M Aggies.
The Auburn Tigers.
Four-star offensive tackle Leighton Von Brandt committed to Auburn. He's number 40 in the class of 2027. 6'6", 265. He's out of Delaware. Hi, we're from Delaware. The number 6 offensive tackle in the country. Picked Auburn over Notre Dame, Florida, and Penn State.
The Florida Gators.
Speaking of Florida, they landed a commitment from 2027 defensive lineman Kane Van Norden. A 6'7", 265. He's a big one. Out of Maryland. He chose the Gators over Maryland, Ole Miss, Syracuse, Michigan State, and others. He's Florida's 3rd defensive line commit, 15th overall.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Offensive lineman Vincent Chen, who's a transfer from Stetson. He has committed to South Carolina. He was a sophomore last year, started at right guard the first game, came off the bench, then moved to left tackle for 9 games, started 4 games at right tackle in 2024. So a swing offensive lineman. So the Stetson offensive lineman is picked South Carolina over Auburn and Vanderbilt.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
And cornerback Dakota Fields is being sued by Oregon for alleged breach of contract. Effectively, he left Oregon, transferred to Oklahoma, but he says he still has a balance in his settlement agreement of his NIL rev share deal that he had with the Ducks. It apparently owes him $39,882. So Oregon's suing this player for breach of contract. See how it all manifests. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1. Some interesting NFL notes as far as future Super Bowls and future locations of the NFL Draft. We'll get to that to wrap up hour number 1 next.
After further review.
If you're hiring, you need Glow Resources. Well, hiring for what? Doesn't matter. Skilled blue-collar labor? Glow Resources can help. Maybe you're looking for any type of white-collar office job. Office assistant all the way up to the C-suite. You need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com. Maybe you're in Baton Rouge. Glow Resources. New Orleans, Glow Resources. Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Germany, doesn't matter. Glow Resources. They can help you fill jobs anywhere in the country or the world. Right now, they're hiring a payroll and benefits specialist in Geismar. glowresources.com. GLO, glowresources.com. You check them out online. Check out all their social media. glowresources.com. GLO, glowresources.com. We say it every day. They're complete employer solutions. Remember, if you need to hire, you need the best, they can help. It's Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Buy
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 1. Could Stephen Milam return to LSU next year? Not a completely insane thought. We'll get to that after the top of the hour. The NFL owners' meetings are set to take place this week. Actually, some are wondering why the Pelicans are waiting until next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, to introduce Jamal Mosley. That's because Gail Benson, they were planning on announcing the hire on Wednesday. Shams kind of beat him to the punch. So he broke it, so then the Pels had to come behind it and announce it. But so Gail Benson is at the owners' meeting, so they're waiting for her to go to the owners' meetings, come back, and then they'll have the announcement next week, or the introductory press conference next week. Well, in advance of all the owners' meetings, it is expected that during these owner meetings, Schefter is the one who broke this, by the way, that the 2028 NFL draft is expected to be awarded to Minneapolis at this week's league meetings. So he notes the NFL's fan engagement and major events committee have been working with the city and the Vikings on plans for the 28 draft. So looks like the 2028 NFL draft is headed up to Minnesota. We also have what appears to be another Super Bowl host site. This should not really be of any surprise, because as we know, if you build a new stadium, you get a Super Bowl. Well, the Nashville, who's building a new stadium, which is set to open in 2027, the Titan Stadium is expected to host the Super Bowl in 2030. So we already know the next few. So this year, they're going back to Los Angeles at SoFi, which will be followed by Atlanta for the 2028 Super Bowl. Remember, that's February of 28, so the 27 season. So this upcoming season will be L.A., then Atlanta, then Las Vegas in 2029, and the expectation is 2030. The 29 season, the February 2030 Super Bowl, will be Nashville at the new stadium there. Nashville has obviously become a big event town. It's just grown at hyper speed. I do worry about weather. If you look up the average temperature in Nashville in February, you could end up with a cold weather Super Bowl, which they always want to avoid. Now, I don't know, actually. Forgive me, I probably should have looked this up. That's on me. Can you please look up to see if the new Titan Stadium is going to have a dome? I don't know if it's going to be domed or open air. That could actually answer the question, but that would be interesting. But just for the note, for the record, the 2030 season is the next year that New Orleans is expected to be able to bid and be awarded the Super Bowl. So that's the one to keep an eye on for New Orleans. So next year at this time is when we should find out about New Orleans hosting for the 2031 Super Bowl. 2030 season, February 2031 Super Bowl. And it was notable because we talked about last week or a couple weeks ago, Miami no longer meets the criteria with their stadium to host. So Miami, which is typically in that rotation, looks like they might get skipped with the new stadiums or new stadia. And then obviously New Orleans getting back in the mix as well. You have it?
It will have a roof.
Okay, good. Perfect. That's great. I can live with that. I just don't want to see a Super Bowl in fridge attempts. Like the Super Bowl outdoors in New York when the Broncos played the Seahawks was just abysmal. The game was abysmal, but nobody wants a freezing Super Bowl. All right, it's after further review. Our Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, we got a ton to do. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg is going to be here in 35 minutes from right now. Big Ten spring meetings going on. Big push for a 2014 playoff. We'll get the Big Ten perspective. When we come back, could Stephen Milam actually return? It's AFR.
After further review.
Supper Club is closed today. They're closed Sunday, Monday. It'll be back open on Tuesday. And my goodness, if you're just looking for an excuse to get by Supper Club, get by just because it's a day of the week that ends in Y. Man, was there last Tuesday, as a matter of fact. Had dinner with a couple of clients. Had an awesome time. And, man, we did a lot of stuff family style, which is a great idea if you're going and with a bunch of people who want to try some new stuff. So we did 2 steaks, had them cut them up family style. We did the Australian Wagyu and the bison, which are off menu. The chef does a great job of bringing in off menu beef items and options. If you're looking for something new, always ask about her or listen for the specials for the off menu items. And man, there's just no shortage of appetizers and sides. If it's if it's the corn, the Brussels sprouts, that sweet glaze on top of them, dream about it. It's Supper Club. Find your favorite dish tonight or tomorrow at Supper Club.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Western Conference Final opening up tonight. The Thunder and the Spurs in a matchup of two of the top teams in the NBA. Tip-off 8:30 Eastern tonight. Coverage beginning at 8 Eastern right here on ESPN Radio. Elsewhere, the Pelicans are hiring former Magic coach Jamal Mosley as their next head coach. Two sides agreeing to a 5-year deal today. ESPN's Kendrick Perkins on the hire.
I actually like this hire. I think Jamal Mosley is a hell of a coach. I don't think he deserved to be fired from the Orlando Magic, but that's neither here nor there. Great job by Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver. Although I would have liked to see my brother, Rajon Rondo, get that job. I'm just saying.
Perkins on First Take. Mosley leading the Magic to the playoffs in each of the last 3 seasons. Elsewhere, Brendan Sorsby looking for a return to college football. Texas Tech QB filing for an injunction against the NCAA, seeking eligibility for the 2026 season, undergoing treatment for a gambling addiction.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, I'll tell you why James Harden is the player with the most on the line in the Knicks-Cavs series. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Cassie Spazzali.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. David DeLucci in 1 hour. Cam Jordan apparently has a contract offer from the Saints. Didn't we already know that? Both Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore spoke to reporters earlier today at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament. We'll let you hear what they said coming up in just a smidge. LSU got swept by Florida this weekend, and they took off on Sunday for Hoover for the SEC tournament. We know they'll play Tuesday night, the 4th game of day 1 against Oklahoma. A 14-11 matchup. Tigers, it's all single elimination. They got to win 5 games in 6 days. Friday's an off day at the tournament, so they'll have to win Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ho-hum. Win 5 games, 6 days, boom, you make regionals. Nothing to it, right? We all know the reality facing this LSU team right now, and it's not good. But because this season has gone the way that it has led an earlier pivot of the conversation to next year than normal. Typically at this point, we're talking about what LSU needs to do to sew up a top 8 national seed and what the projections are, who might be coming to the box for regional and so on. And it's just not the case. They're 9-21 in conference play. They have to do the improbable, win the SEC tournament, which they won't. And when they lose, the season will be over, and Jay and everyone will fully go full bore into next year. And as Jay has said, a big part of that is going to be retention. And there's some obvious ones there that we're talking about, all the freshmen that have been super impactful. A sophomore like Aaron Beatty, the freshmen that late in the season, Ruckert, Braun, Cerna, Patrick, those 4. It's going to be the core of next year's team, retaining all those guys. They'll go into the portal, find some pitchers, no doubt. But there's also going to be an interesting conversation about Stephen Milam. Now, I want to be clear. In a different era, there is no conversation about Stephen Milam. In a different era, as a junior, he's gone. He's signing because that's what guys do because you don't want to lose your leverage. Let me take 60 seconds and explain the MLB draft. I'm going to boil it down, hopefully, to like a third grade level. I know a lot of you understand this, but if you don't, I'll try to do this as simplistically as possible, okay? To be eligible for the draft, you have to be out of high school 3 years or turn 21 before the draft. That's why you hear us talk about draft-eligible sophomores. A sophomore is draft-eligible if they turn 21 before the draft. Derek Curiel turns 21 in May, so he'll be 21. He's draft-eligible sophomore. Every major league team has a bonus pool. It's a pool of money they can spend on signing bonuses for the top 10 round picks. Every pick has an associated value. So, for example, in the 2026 draft, the Pirates have the most money to spend at $19.1 million. The slot value for the first overall pick, which belongs to the White Sox, is $11.3 million. The Rays have the second pick, slot value is $10.5. The Twins have the third pick, it's $9.7, and it goes down accordingly, okay? If an underclassman is drafted, they have leverage. They can say, well, give me X, or I'm just going to go back to school. And if the team really wants that player, they're more likely to pay them accordingly. If you're a senior and you have no leverage, that's what's called a senior sign. A team will draft a senior knowing I could get away with paying them less because they don't have any leverage. They can't tell me they're going back to school. I'm their only option. I draft them. They have to sign with me for whatever I offer. And so you see senior signs a lot take less money. The change now is with NIL and rev share, players might be able to make as much or more in college than they would as a junior signee. Now, that's not the case for everyone. For example, Derek Curiel, if you look at Derek Curiel's draft projections, okay, like MLB.com has Curiel 15th, Perfect Game has Curiel 35th, D1 has Curiel 27th, Baseball America has Curiel 9th. So as high as 9, which the slot value, for 9 is the Braves at $6.6 million. The low end, Perfect Game has him 35th. The slot value there, that's Yankees at 2.8. So basically, Curiel's somewhere in the $3 to $6 million range. He gone, right? There's nothing LSU can do, NIL rev share wise, to match what a major league team is going to give Derek Curiel in his slot value or in his bonus. So he's gone. Stephen Milam is a different conversation, however. Now, Saturday, the LSU fans were chanting one more year at Stephen Milam. And after the game, Jay Johnson was asked about the fans chanting Stephen Milam, one more year, and if he might come back. This is what Jay said.
He loves it here. Like, he loves it here. That's the one thing we have going for us. It's just like, I don't think 30 teams are going to mess it up. Somebody's going to give him $2 million. So it just, I appreciate that. And, it is, he's a great player and love him, kind of one of those guys you can't picture not having him, and we've been fortunate to have a few of those guys here in my time. But, that'd be great. But, just knowing the side of this thing, like, what do you have, 3 errors on the season, something like that, 10 homers, do a search. There's going to be one name that comes up on that.
So Jay's saying that Milam's going to get $2 million. If you look at the bonus pool to slot values, that basically means he thinks he's going to be a top 50 pick. Okay, so the 50th pick is the Cardinals. The slot value is $1.982 million. The 49th pick is the Rays at $2.03 million. So basically, Jay is saying Milam's going to be a top 50 pick. Okay. MLB.com ranks the top 150 prospects in this draft. Milam is not on their list in the top 150. Baseball America ranks the top 150. Milam is number 132. Perfect Game has Milam 70th. That's the highest of any of these outlets. For what it's worth, the 70th pick belongs to the Reds. That's $1.2 million. If Milam goes to the Reds or at the 70th pick at 1.2, he needs to sign. He will be He will and should be gone. If he falls at 132, that's the last pick of round 4. That's the Dodgers, and it's $575K. Based on conversations I've had, I believe LSU could put together a $500,000 package for Stephen Milam to return next year. I honestly don't think that would be very difficult to do. Pass the hat. Hey, go talk to the biggest LSU baseball boosters. Hey, we got a shot to get Milam back. Can you help? What? Really? What do you need? Okay. It would go like that. So there's a number. There's a range where if Milam falls, it might make sense. Now, Jay says someone's going to give him $2 million. And someone might. Someone might. But the reality, Stephen Milam's, I think he's listed at 5'8", but let's be real. You don't see many guys that size in Major League Baseball. It's just the reality. Most teams have shortstops that are 6'2", that hit with power. That's not Stephen Milam. That's never going to be Stephen Milam. He is an incredible defensive shortstop. I believe he'll be a utility infielder at the next level, and I think has a great shot to play in the major leagues. Teams draft, though, on projectability. And if you're going to give someone a 7-figure signing bonus, you're generally projecting them as future starters at the major league level. Because of his projectability, there are probably teams that have a lower ceiling on Milam. That doesn't take away at all the outstanding player he is at LSU, and a guy that, again, I think, look, Terrio sat here and said the same. I think Stephen Milam's going to play Major League Baseball. And it would not surprise me a lick. And there have been great defensive infielders that didn't hit. I mean, Omar Vizquel is a great example of that. Maybe I'm aging myself a little bit, but Vizquel was a dynamic defensive infielder for the Indians and didn't hit a lick, but he was a great defender. And Milam can hit, but you also don't typically see players his size, right? Not his fault. It's just the reality. Again, Major League Draft is different because they look at projectability. And Milam, because of his size, is going to have a lower ceiling. You just don't see prospects his size. Jose Altuve is probably the exception in the game right now. So all that to say, is Jay right that there could be a team that loves Stephen Milam, gets aggressive, makes him a 7-figure offer, and he goes? That could absolutely happen. It takes one. You hear that all the time. It just takes one team. Flip side of it is, a lot of scouts that I talk to project Stephen Milam as around 5'6" guy. And if that's the case, now you're talking about $500,000. And that's something I believe LSU could be competitive in offering Milam. Terrio was here on Friday with us. If you missed that conversation, I think he explained it very well. This isn't from me. This is a guy who was a third-round pick, played shortstop at LSU, spent a decade in Major League Baseball. And his point was, you don't get rich in the draft. The objective is get to Major League Baseball, start your clock, and get to your second contract where you actually get paid. If you leave as a junior, you're going to start in rookie ball. If you come back for your senior year, when you're finished, you're likely going to start in Double-A. So when you start that 2028 season, you'd be at the same spot professionally in your career. You'd be in Double-A. The difference is you'd play 27 in the SEC, and you'd spend 27 riding a bus in A-ball. Which do you want to do? That used to be an easy decision because it was the only way you could get your signing bonus was to leave early. Now you can get that money in NIL rev share. Again, I don't know that I have like this strong feeling that Milam is coming back. Like, I'm not telling you that, okay? Don't misunderstand. I'm not sitting here telling you he's coming back, he's coming back, he's coming back. What I am telling you is it is a very different conversation about a guy like Milam today than it ever would have been in the past. Like, there is no conversation about Derek Carrillo. He's going to get, we just went through the numbers. He's going to get somewhere in the, depending on how high, $3 to $6 million. He's going to sign, and he should. He should be gone. That is the smart thing to do. Take your money. God bless. Thank you for an amazing season, 2 seasons, winning a national championship, and LSU fans will cheer for you forever. Jake Brown is an interesting one as well. The same, outlets have talked about. MLB.com has Brown 45th. Perfect Game actually rates Brown higher than Curiel. D1 Baseball has Curiel 27th. Has Brown 40th. And Baseball America has Brown 41st. So a 40s pick is where Jake Brown is projected. You're getting picked in the 40s, you're talking about making a couple of $1 million. And if that's the case for Jake Brown, he should go as well. And will likely go as well. Now, could he come back and then be a top 10 pick? Maybe. Do you want to run the risk? I don't know that he wants to do that. But that's a decision he could make. I think that's highly, highly unlikely. Milam is the one. Milam's the one to focus on to say there's a shot. If he starts to slide a little bit and those bonus pool numbers start hovering in the $500,000 range, there's a really compelling case for him to come back to LSU for his senior year. So one to follow as we get closer to July. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Mold remediation done right the first time. That's Parish Restoration and parishrestoration.com. Tell you all the time, they'll come spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. It's Parish Restoration. Home, any type of office, commercial building, school, church, doctor's office. Maybe you got odor from a gym, a workout facility, that sweat odor. Easy. Call Parish. They'll come in, spray, close up all the doors and windows. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're back in free, clean, clear, sanitized, smelling great. Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. parishrestoration.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday. Adam Rittenberg in 15 minutes from right now from ESPN covers college football and with a primary focus on the Big Ten. Big Ten spring meetings going on, and there's a heavy push from the Big Ten coaches now for a 24-team playoff. Why, and why are they being so vocal now? We're going to get to that with Adam Rittenberg in about 15 minutes. When we come back, Cam Jordan has a contract offer. Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore talked about it at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament today. You'll hear about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Tell you every day if you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Always encourage you to go to the website. It's getgordon.com, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Let's be real. I mean, Gordon does such an amazing job of branding. By now you should know getgordon.com. Getgordon.com. You can go to the website. You can see the types of cases that they handle. You can see claims from and settlements from past and testimonials from past clients. It's getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You can also follow on all of their social media accounts. Great 5-star review from Tisha of Katie, her attorney on Gordon's team. Said, I don't write reviews often. Want to let everyone know how great my experience was with Katie and Gordon's team. Made me feel welcome, answered all my questions without pretension like other law firms. I felt like family and would recommend her 10 out of 10. Get Gordon. Get it done.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know hard work starts with the right equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025 e-tractor with loader for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, this is the tractor built to get it done. Don't wait. This offer ends April 30th, 2026. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
I've been telling y'all they got immediate openings over at River Parish Contractors. If you're looking for a job, or if you're not even sure you're looking for a job, you need to be looking for a job if you're not working at River Parish Contractors. They got immediate openings in their fab shop right now for pipe welders, pipe tackers. Y'all get building with River Parish Contractors. Call Big Jake. I'm going to give you Big Jake's number, so get a pen, I'll get your phone out. I'm going to give you Big Jake's number here in just a quick second. But they got as much overtime as you want. You can work day shifts or night shifts. Great benefits. 401k. They have paid time off. Never any rainouts, by the way, and they're going to keep you busy. It's not like you're coming to work for a couple of weeks and they're out of work. They got work stockpiled, so they are ready for you. It's River Parish Contractors. Call Big Jake, 318-547-1000. 318-547-1000. 318-547-1000. Call Big Jake at 318-547-1000.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore both met with reporters on Monday at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament. And naturally, big part of the conversation was about some of these veterans and what their futures may be, primarily focusing on three. It's Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara, and Taysom Hill. Mickey Loomis was asked about Cam and Taysom.
Do they both have contract offers from you?
Cam certainly does. Taysom does not.
So, sorry, was that 4 or 5? No, I wanted 4. You play 4.
Does it become unlikely as you get this far into the offseason?
No, I don't think so. It's look, those guys, have earned the right for self-determination, right? So we're not going to put any deadlines on anything.
I think the thing that's getting the most attention today is Mickey Loomis saying Cam has a contract offer, Taysom does not. The Taysom thing I don't think is surprising in any way. And I get asked often, hey, could such and such be the next Taysom Hill? The answer is no. Because when you think about it just intellectually, who else in the NFL has a Taysom Hill? Nobody. Because it's that atypical what Taysom does. And I know it's a copycat league, but Taysom's been around for almost a decade now in that role, and nobody else does it. Because he is a rare player in this era that can do it, but you also have to have a coach like Sean Payton who knows what to do with that. I mean, that was a Sean Payton brainchild. And then Pete Carmichael obviously was here, and Taysom was under contract. But now you have a new coaching staff that has never used a player like that before and doesn't have a great desire to use a player like that, clearly because they had Taysom Hill coming off of injury, limited physically, great leader, all the stuff. Everyone loves Taysom. But it's a coaching staff that it looked so forced last year when Taysom Hill was in the game. That's why he had his least productive year, coming off a serious knee injury, playing for a coach that didn't know how to use him. So if Taysom maybe is healthier and wants to continue his career, maybe Denver or reunion with Sean Payton would make sense. But more than likely, his career is probably, he's probably played his last game in the NFL. So that one's not surprising. I also think it's not surprising that Cam Jordan has a contract offer from the Saints. Go back and listen to what Cam Jordan said in the interview with Teron Armstead. Remember, this was back in March. He did an interview with Teron Armstead. It was it's actually, I think it was April. It was just a few weeks ago. Cam Jordan was doing an interview on Teron Armstead's podcast and talked about the possibility of a return.
If things that don't add up to what I consider as value happen, I understand the business nature of it all. In my mind, I'm like, of course, you see guys my age re-sign to the team because that's the only team that they've ever been with, and you're like, hell yeah, we love that. But that's to his situation. That may not be to my situation. As football players, we only control what we can control. So as much as I'd be like, hell yeah, I want them to love me just like I love them. Sometimes, the business side of that makes you feel emotional. You got to be able to take your emotions out of it. So of course I'd love to be in New Orleans. And at the same time, hey, if the sense doesn't make sense, we got to find our own path.
If the sense doesn't make sense. Like, what he's saying there, like, think about that again. What he's saying isn't, they don't want me, they haven't offered me. He said, if the sense, C-E-N-T-S, doesn't make sense, S-E-N-S-E. He said, the money doesn't make sense. So it's not saying that they don't want me, they haven't offered me. He's saying is what they're offering isn't enough. And we've talked about this plenty. Like, I don't think there's much new here with this. It's just Mickey confirming what we've talked about plenty, which is the fact that Cam, very clearly, who was on a incentive-laden contract this past year, has 10.5 sacks, wants more guarantees. He very likely wants a deal like DeMario Davis got with the Jets, a multi-year deal with guaranteed money. And it does not make a lick of sense. I'm going to say this again. It does not make a lick of sense for the New Orleans Saints to give Cameron Jordan a multi-year guaranteed deal. I love Cam Jordan. You love Cam Jordan. He will go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He will be in the Saints Ring of Honor. He is one of the greatest players in the history of this organization. For his contributions, we will all be forever grateful, and we will cheer him forever. If you're the general manager of the Saints, you're not giving players contracts based on what they did in the past. You're giving them contracts based on what you are projecting they will do over the life of that contract. And Cameron Jordan, when you look, and again, he's a durable player, but his snap counts have effectively been cut in half. And if you start with the 2023 season, he's gone from 12.5 sacks in 12.5 in 2021 to 8.5 to 2 to 4 to then 10.5 this year, which speaks to an outlier. In the last 5 years, you had seen a regression every single year for Cam for 4 straight seasons until this year where he had a bounce back. It's hard for me to believe that's sustainable. That's the outlier. That's the exception, not the rule. So if you're the Saints, you're not going to go invest a multi-year deal in an aging, declining player. I don't know how many more ways we could say this. I love Cam. You love Cam. We all love Cam. And the fact is, the rest of the NFL, the market is speaking. He doesn't have an offer, a multi-year offer from anybody else. If he did, he would have signed it already. Maybe he waits until camp, there's an injury, there's a desperate team, they pay him what he wants. And if that's what he wants to do, okay. But it may come to pass that Cam Jordan's best option is his only option. And that's to sign a deal to return to New Orleans on an incentive-laden one-year deal like he just played. And if you're the Saints, you'll absolutely bring Cam Jordan back on an incentive-laden one-year deal. But that may not be something he's interested in. If it's not, his time in New Orleans may well be over. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020. You know, I tell you all the time about Dr. Blake Williamson and how he's really at the forefront of ophthalmology. Like, I can tell you that. Sometimes it's better to show you that. So Dr. Blake was recently at the Young MD conference in Austin, Texas, where he was the chairman of that group this year. So there's social media posts on the Williamson Eye Center socials if you want to go check it out. There's Dr. Blake Williamson presenting and running this conference as the chairman. The point is, Dr. Blake, who practices right here in Baton Rouge, goes all over the country and all over the world lecturing and teaching some of the foremost advances in ophthalmology because he's at the forefront of it. We're just very fortunate to have him here in Baton Rouge. Williamson Eye Center has locations all over Greater Baton Rouge. So you can find the location nearest you. Schedule your appointment today at WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or go to WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're about halfway home here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let me knock out a quick break. David DeLucci in 30 minutes. When we come back, Adam Rittenberg, ESPN.com, will be here. Covers college football, primarily the Big Ten. The Big Ten spring meetings going on where there is a very clear push by the Big Ten brass and coaches for a 2014 college football playoff. We'll explain not only why they want 24, but why they're being so vocal now. We'll do that next on AFR.
AFR.
All right, y'all. The summer heat up is here. 89 degrees with a high of 90 in Baton Rouge today. We are starting to hit those 90-degree temps with the heat index climbing. I love this time of year. You can keep your jacket weather. I'm not interested. I want swimsuit and pool and warm weather. But with that comes a real tax on your home central AC. You know that. When it's 100 degrees outside, that thing is running round the clock. Make sure your AC is ready for these warm weather months. Remember, that unit sits on the side of your house, and it never gets a break. From oppressive triple-digit heat, bugs, dust, dander, humidity, everything. Make sure it's clean, tuned up, running efficiently so it can keep your home and your family cool all summer long. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues, like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Inject some truth serum in anybody that covers the Big Ten, and to tell you the best part about USC and UCLA coming into the Big Ten, they get to have their spring meetings in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Probably a little bit different than, I don't know, Gary, Indiana this time of year. Adam Rittenberg is out there in California for Big Ten meetings, and he's good enough to hang out with us here for a couple minutes. Hey, Adam, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. You might hear some birds chirping or overlooking the Pacific. There's certainly worse places to be right now. Not to make you feel bad. I hope it's beautiful in Baton Rouge as well.
No, Baton Rouge is fine. It's sunny and 90 degrees, and that's fine. I'm going to be on a plane out to Arizona later this week, so eat your heart out for that as well. Okay, let's first talk about what is primarily on the agenda this week. I would assume it starts with the college football playoff, but 10,000-foot view, what are they doing this week?
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I mean, it's that. It's certainly some of the legislation that may or may not come through in Washington. It's the CSC and seeing if that's something that is operating the way that people want it to operate. The football coaches are supposed to wrap up their meetings tomorrow. I haven't seen a ton of them so far, so I haven't been able to talk. I've seen a few athletic directors here and there, and those basketball coaches are around. So it's a pretty full agenda, and that's pretty standard for Tony Petitti in the Big Ten. They want to get a lot on the table, so it's not just the playoff, even though they understand that that's what everyone is talking about on the outside, and certainly the topic that impacts the most college football fans. But there's other things as well going on.
All right, let's start then with the playoff, because as you mentioned, that is the topic that probably interests the most college football fans. Why is the Big Ten so bullish on 24?
Well, if you remember a year ago, the Big Ten was bullish on 16, but having AQs, and that seemed to be something that other conferences were, at least the SEC initially was interested in, and then the tenor sort of changed at the SEC meetings down in Destin, which followed the Big Ten meetings. And so, Tony Petitti's a guy that comes up with a lot of ideas, and maybe fairly or unfairly gets labeled the ideas guy, but they came up with this other idea to essentially, bring more teams into the playoff conversation. I think the thing that Tony struggles with coming from the pro sports world is how many teams are eliminated from that postseason conversation because of how small the postseason is. And so, I think, again, if there was more agreement around the AQ model, you would have basically a playoff within your conference to get into those spots, which is something the Big Ten was interested in. But with that door seemingly closed, they're now looking at just a larger playoff in general. Although, again, one thing to keep in mind was just how skeptical Tony Petitti was of the selection committee and, who they were putting in and some of the metrics that were being used. He does not want this to be a selection committee driven process. And I think that's why they had the AQ model. And, with that, seemingly dead right now, there's a lot more support around 24 because obviously the Big Ten would be well represented in that model, as would the SEC.
It's interesting too. Adam Rittenberg is our guest because it's not just the Big Ten, but the Big 12, the ACC. They're in line with 24 as well, and the SEC is over on the island by themselves, which feels, Adam, almost like an about face from what we typically experience, which is the SEC's kind of been the bully that gets its way. Why are we seeing this? Do you see it that way? And why are we seeing this sea change?
Well, I think it's because the sport's changed, right? And, I think there's more opportunity to compete nationally, now than maybe there has been in at least in my lifetime, in our lifetime, because you have Indiana sitting there as a national champion. You have Miami that finally made it to the playoff and advanced all the way to the national title game. You had so many other teams that were on the cusp of making the playoff that were just left out. BYU has been really close, for example. And so, if you're sitting there in the Big 12 and the ACC, you didn't want the AQ model because it was very clear that you were a lesser conference. But a 24-team system, hey, we could have 4 teams in a good year, maybe even more, or at least have more than one on a regular basis. And so I think that's maybe the appeal for conferences like that, to provide hope. That was a word that was used, I think, last week at the ACC spring meetings, and something that I know is similarly felt around the Big 12. That hey, with 16, certainly with 24, there is a little bit more hope than there is in the current model when it's so dominated by the Big Ten and the SEC. And honestly, the way that Notre Dame is tracking, I don't think there's going to be very many 12-team playoffs in the future that don't include Notre Dame. So that's another spot that's getting taken out.
Your colleague at ESPN, Pete Thamel, has a piece up that not only speaks about the Big Ten lobbying for a 2014 playoff, but doing so in a vocal manner, talking about why it was important for them to be so vocal in their support of this. You've covered that league in college football for a long time. Do you see that?
Well, I think it is important for the Big Ten to be vocal. And this is the first time in quite some time that the Big Ten is truly operating from a position of strength. And you mentioned the SEC bullying others around. A lot of that because they ran the sport in terms of the results. That's not the case anymore. The Big Ten is now, at least from a championship perspective, the top conference. And, they have taken a much more reserved approach in terms of lobbying over the years. Really, since Jim Delaney, the commissioner, stepped down, he was a little bit more out in front, like Greg Sankey was, and still is. Whereas Kevin Warren and Tony Petitti in particular, you hardly ever hear from Tony Petitti publicly. So I think this week's meeting is a little bit different from the last two that the Big Ten had, where there really weren't any media here. There weren't a lot of interviews being done. There wasn't a lot of lobbying. And I don't know if there'll be that this week, but at least there's an openness to it that maybe wasn't present a few years ago when the Big Ten wasn't winning the national championship very often.
Adam Rittenberg is our guest, ESPN, Big Ten meetings going on. So aside from the college football playoff, what else is sort of topping the list there in the conversation?
Well, yeah, I was talking with Martin Jarman, the UCLA athletic director, just now, and he was just saying that they're trying. There's still this feeling of a chaos in the sport, and trying to figure out, what are all the rules that we're supposed to be playing by. What's going to happen with eligibility? What's going to happen with some of the other, kind of bigger picture topics? And it seems like there's a new bill, in Congress, at least being talked about almost every day. So, yeah, it is. They obviously have to look at things beyond the playoff and beyond the sport of football. And I think those are some of the things that they're talking about. But there's a recognition, certainly that, with the popularity of football and with the strength that the Big Ten has had in that sport, that a lot of their attention has to go towards some of the things that we're talking about.
Yeah. It's never boring, and college football is obviously finding a way, almost like the NFL, Adam, to become a 12-month sport, or at least sort of mirror that. Do you see, last thing, do you see a timeline for any of these decisions in this offseason?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think with the playoff, it'll be. I just remember being on a Big Ten campus. This was last year, right after the SEC meeting, and I won't burn the AD that said this, but I'll give him credit that person was saying this thing is not going to expand because there was such disagreement from where the Big Ten was, and then the 10 are coming out of SEC meetings. So obviously, there's not as much of a mystery about where the Big Ten sits in terms of its preference, or at least support for a future playoff model. It's why I think the meetings next week in Destin are going to be maybe even more important to see where the SEC truly sits. Is it hey, we're going to stay and put it at 16? If that's the case, I think the 12-team playoff isn't going anywhere. Or are they really inching closer to supporting a larger model, a 2014 model, which was laughed off when it was originally reported, and has obviously gotten some support from quite a few corners of the sport, including some in the SEC. So, not to say this week doesn't matter with the Big Ten, but we kind of know where the league is. And the one thing that Tony Petitti has done during his time as commissioner, even though I think he's somewhat controversial in the media, doesn't do a lot of media, he's very good at rallying support within his conference and explaining the process, whether it's the playoff, whether it's something in Congress, whether it's the CSC. I was talking with a league official just now about how he just lays that out to his coaches and his athletic directors in a way that they can absorb it. So these are usually very successful meetings, but in terms of news, I would expect more coming out of where the SEC lands as far as the playoffs.
Enjoy the low humidity and the beautiful sunsets.
I'll find a way. It's there's certainly tougher places to be for a couple of days, but appreciate you having me on.
That's Adam Rittenberg from ESPN. Thanks, Adam.
All right.
All righty. He's on Twitter at ESPN Rittenberg if you want to give him a follow. Rancho Palos Verdes. I mean, the Big Ten, right? State College, Pennsylvania. Bloomington, Indiana. West Lafayette, Indiana. Ann Arbor, Michigan. East Lansing, Michigan. Columbus, Ohio. Palos Ranchos Verdes, California. Yep. Did I get that right? Or is it Ranchos Palos?
You mixed it up. It's Ranchos Palos Verdes.
It doesn't matter.
It's beautiful.
Let's be honest.
Huh?
It's the Pacific Ocean. It's golden sunsets. It's low humidity. It's picturesque beauty from every turn. It is nothing symbolic of the Big Ten. That's so good. I remember a few years back when, what was that guy's name? The Pac-10 commissioner, Scott. He was terrible. God bless him. What was his name? Scott. Something Scott. Tim Scott? Paul Scott. You got it?
I'm trying.
He was the
Larry Scott.
Larry Scott.
Larry
I knew it was
Scott.
Larry Scott. And it was a boring first name, Scott.
Just a generic name.
Larry Scott. I was on it. I was close. He was an atrocious commissioner. Basically, he's the one who got that league killed. The Big 12 managed to preserve itself. The Pac-12 died because Larry Scott was terrible. But one thing Larry Scott did was he moved Pac-12 media days to New York City. And the idea was there's very little East Coast coverage of the West Coast schools, so let's bring our product there. Which I guess in theory maybe makes sense, but you left all the things that are your inherent advantage and went to New York City, where you going there isn't going to make them care any more about you than they did when you were, because there's always things going on in New York City. Sometimes got to be you. All right, it's after further review. All right, Mucil Tigers and the pros to wrap up hour number 2 here in just a smidge. Remember, success takes a team, not just on the field. At FMOL Health, that team is more than 20,000 strong, delivering care across Louisiana and Mississippi as one connected, mission-driven health system. As a $5 billion health system with nationally recognized quality and not one but 2 exceptional workplace awards from Gallup, FMOL Health has built something people trust and continues to grow to meet the needs of the communities they serve. And when LSU needed to care for its student-athletes, they chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner. That tells you everything you need to know, because that same level of care isn't just for athletes. It's for you, your family, and communities across the region. It's bigger than sports. It's about having a health system you can count on. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. Okay, y'all, we'll put a button here on hour number 1. We'll come back. Mucil Tigers and the pros. David DeLucci will kick off hour 3. We'll preview the SEC tournament, LSU's path to and through Hoover. We'll get to all that here in a smidge. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Remember, every day when we tell you about Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, it's about feeling your best and living your optimal life. What does that mean? Well, you know the whole story about the frog in the boiling pot of water? Like, you just slowly turn up the temperature, and before you know it, the frog's cooked. Well, the way we age is similar in the opposite direction. We gradually, every one of us, our bodies produce less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. And it just becomes the normal feeling for us. We don't realize how bad we feel until we start feeling good again. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. At Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, they have the lowest prices, never any contracts. There's no membership fees. If you're on HRT and you're paying a membership fee, you need to go look into Goodwood to begin with. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Harris Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
ParishBuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2, we always appreciate Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. They're just the best. Make your home more energy efficient, beautify the exterior, increase your resale value. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Thanks to Jake Madison, who was here in hour number 1. Talk a little bit about the Pels hiring Jamal Mosley. If you missed that conversation, you can catch it on demand. Thanks to Adam Rittenberg, who was just here a bit as well. David DeLucci in about 10 minutes from right now, preview the SEC tournament. But right now, Musso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
It is a rough Sunday afternoon for Paul Skeens and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Skeens suffers his third loss of the season. 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned, walked a batter. That was his first walk in over a month. He did punch out 7, give up a homer. That came against Bryce Harper, and the Pirates lost 6-0. Kevin Gausman fared much better against the Detroit Tigers. 6 innings, shutout ball, 4 hits, didn't walk a soul, and punched out 5 of them. Third win of the year for Gausman. Brings his record to 500 now at 3-3. Couple Tigers in action against each other. Alex Bregman, Chicago Cubs, took on the Chicago White Sox there. 2 for 5 for Bregman on the Sunday game. Both of those singles drove in 2 runs as well, and he would come around to score twice in the ball game as well. Grant Taylor, of course, towed the rubber there for the White Sox in relief. 2 shutout innings, did not allow a hit, did not walk anybody, and punched out 1, so he was perfect ERA now sub-2 there for Grant Taylor. Quick note here on Jake Fraley. He has been placed on the 10-day injured list. That is due to a hernia. He was scratched from the Rays lineup on Saturday. All of that courtesy of Mark Tompkin of the Tampa Bay Times. Now, he will obviously sit here for 10 days. That move retroactive to May 16th. The WNBA is in full swing. Angel Reese and the Atlanta Dream, they fell to the Vegas Aces. 9 points, 8 boards for Reese in the game. Did add 3 assists. Had trouble holding on to the ball, though. 8 turnovers. And lastly, Kayshon Boutte is not participating in off-season workouts for the Patriots. He's choosing to work on his own. That's Tigers and Pros.
Presented by Evermore, EVAMOR. Evermore.com, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Always got my bottle of Evermore with me here on the set. Drink it all day. Tell you all the time. 20-ounce, 32-ounce, or 64-ounce. I like to buy the 4-pack of 64-ounce bottles. Available at retailers all over town. What town? Doesn't matter. They have national distribution, even though they're based out of Covington. They're on the North Shore. They have national distribution. So if you go to the website, evermore.com, hit the little menu tab at the top, and you can hit the Find a Store locator, type in your zip code, and boom, it'll pull up all the stores nearest you. So take a photo of your Evermore wherever you see. I love getting photos in the wild of Evermore. So take a photo, text it to me, tweet it at me, DM me, whatever you do. Make sure you support a great Louisiana company and drink a healthier product, Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. All right, y'all. LSU's path to the postseason begins on Tuesday in Hoover as they take on Oklahoma. David DeLucci's here with us to preview it next.
AFR.
As we wrap up hour number 2, do want to remind you about Arco Power Systems. What an awesome company Arco is. Man, they are a local Louisiana company that has grown to be such an impressive company in size and scale and scope. At Arco Power Systems, what they do is really simple to explain. You know about like standby generators people have for their house? They do that for your business. So if you're a business owner, you have a industrial or commercial facility, your business, or a church, a school, a government building, municipalities, doctors' offices, hospitals, banks, grocery stores, gas stations, whatever. Any type of business. You need a generator for your business, Arco Power Systems. And they're not just in Baton Rouge. All over Louisiana, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, north to Little Rock, Houston, Dallas, Austin, everywhere. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic buttered spread, grilled to golden perfection, and made to order just for you. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. First time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Nick DeLuca, closing in on the start of the Western Conference Finals. The Thunder and the Spurs in a matchup of two of the best teams in the NBA. OKC, a plus 16.6 point differential in the playoffs. The Spurs right behind them at plus 15.9. Tip at 8:30 Eastern, coverage beginning at 8 Eastern right here on ESPN Radio. Elsewhere, Brendan Sorsby looking to return to college football. Texas Tech QB filing for an injunction against the NCAA after he is seeking treatment for a gambling addiction, looking for eligibility for the 2026 season. Number one player in ESPN's transfer portal ranking, Sorsby moved from Cincinnati to Texas Tech, projecting to be one of the highest paid players in college football to make more than $5 million next season. In the NFL, former Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer has lost his grievance against the team regarding receiving the balance of the remainder of his contract after being fired in 2021.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud. Cassie Spazzali.
Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Pelicans have a new head coach. There's a report out there about LSU basketball signing another 25-year-old European player. It's being disputed by some. We'll get to that here in just a smidge. Baseball Tigers swept this weekend by Florida. Really, no matter. I mean, the LSU Tigers have to win the SEC tournament to earn a berth in a regional play, and that is certainly not something that's likely in any way. But to preview the tournament, David DeLucci, SEC Network, good enough to hang out with us here as he does every Monday during the baseball season. Luch, we appreciate you, man. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. There is a way they can win it. They always play great in Hoover. They've stacked their pitching rotation this weekend. So, it's a little bit different this year, Matt. There's so many teams that have their postseason has already been set. All they want to do is go out there, get their guys some reps, and leave healthy. So there is a chance LSU can sneak up on some teams.
So, okay, I don't completely disagree with you on that. And Luch, we saw that the year LSU had Paul Skeens. Skeens pitched against Arkansas. I think he was like 30 pitches in that game. So LSU wasn't interested in winning that game. They were interested in winning the College World Series. We know that it's going to be LSU and Oklahoma with Schmidt going against the Sooners. How different is Oklahoma today than the team that LSU faced in week 2 of conference play?
That's a great question because when they faced each other, I mean, that was a really close series, right? And,
Yep.
and we thought both those teams were on different trends, where Oklahoma at the time, I think they were being considered as one of the top 10 teams in the country. LSU was playing really well. And then all of a sudden, it's completely changed for both teams. Oklahoma has very talented pitching, but they can be extremely inconsistent. And they've had to play catch-up in almost every game for the weekend series. And you saw Cam Johnson at LSU. L.J. Mercurius is very similar. They just walk people like crazy. So I think that in this format and on this stage, I don't see anything changing for Oklahoma. I see the pitching staff having difficulty throwing strikes if LSU can be patient, because their offense has come on really strong toward the end of the season. And now you got Schmitty that's well rested, and he's going to go over there, and he's got ace stuff when he's on. I think LSU has the advantage in game one, and then you just basically play matchups. And LSU always pulls a player or two or three in the SEC tournament that comes out of nowhere and has career weekends. And then, the goal is, like Skip Bertman way back when, win the first game, don't worry about the second. And when you get to the second, win that one, and before you know it, you're in the championship.
Yeah, it's very clear what Jay Johnson did, right? Holding William Schmidt last weekend, he recognized the Florida series was really inconsequential as far as the Tigers' postseason. They got to win the SEC tournament. So, by the way, how do you think Schmidt fares against that Oklahoma lineup?
I think it's a great matchup, and he's got the advantage. It's a big ballpark. Oklahoma doesn't hit very many home runs. They're probably the softest hitting squad in the conference. They try to get on base. They're similar to Kentucky. They try to get on base. They steal bases. That's their game. And for Smitty or any pitcher now in the Hoover Met, just pound the strike zone, especially with the weather forecast that we have. I'm not sure the wind's going to be blowing out very often. Throw strikes. It's a huge field. You've got a very good defense behind you, especially outfield that can cover some ground and run balls down. And those doubles and those homers, they turn into flyouts. So he can pitch with confidence and concentrate on pounding the strike zone. That's the key.
Tigers did not play Auburn this year. If they get past Oklahoma, and again, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if they get past Oklahoma Tuesday, they would play Auburn on Wednesday. Give me the thumbnail on Auburn.
Extremely good pitching. One of the top rotations in the country. A very dependable bullpen. A very deep staff. That was my team on Rally Cap last night that I picked to win the tournament. And you complement that with a very good offense that's quietly just pounded the ball all season long. They ended their last game of the regular season. They beat Georgia 14-4, something around there. Georgia kind of took their foot off the gas pedal, but they can score runs. And if there was ever a team that could go through their pitching staff without overworking anybody, it would probably be Auburn. And that helps them a lot here because they want the teams that are moving on, especially the top 8 seeds, and that's what we project Auburn to be. They want to get every one of their arms some work, some live at-bats, some live innings, and Auburn can do that through this whole tournament and never overwork somebody.
By the way, Luch, do you have an idea of who LSU would face from Auburn? Like who? I mean, it's a Wednesday game, so they take their weekend guys and pitch them early. I mean, it's always so convoluted what you might do there.
Yeah, the key to this tournament is to be able to put guys on the mound that are very effective as weekend or weekday starters. And Auburn who was potentially going to be their ace early in the season and had some injuries, young man with the last name of Graves, who is working his way back into the rotation, and he is very good. A very good player, a lot to prove. They're trying to get him some innings under his belt before they get to a regional. They'll face him. I don't know how long he's going to go, but for a couple innings, it's going to be premier stuff. And then after that, it's a bullpen that's very effective. But once again, man, I mean, momentum is huge in Hoover. That's the key to winning this whole tournament is get your foot in the door in game one, get everybody some ABs, get in a rhythm, and then just take it from there. The schedules are going to be crazy. They're already crazy without weather issues, but we're supposed to have weather issues every night. That could go toward LSU's advantage because they're just used to being here and used to playing well.
Luch, I did not need to hear that, man.
The weather issues are the weather issues are what I worry about because that puts me in the booth until about 2:30 in the morning. So I don't need to hear that either.
I can empathize. I'm not in the booth, but anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're not building the railroad here. We're just talking about sports. So I'll not complain. Okay, David DeLucci is our guest. So as we just played out from LSU's perspective, they'll play Oklahoma Tuesday. If they win, they'd advance to play Auburn. If somehow LSU manages to get to Thursday, they'd face a rested Texas A&M team. And that's where we get to the scenario we talked about at the onset, Luch, where if you're A&M, really what are they playing for? And do you see an A&M team that's more looking ahead to regional supers, or are they all in to try to win this tournament?
No, I think actually A&M and University of Texas, the two Texas teams, are just trying to get out of here, heal up and get out of here. And they're probably looking forward. Now, they want to win, but A&M is banged up, man. Their position players are banged up. Their pitching staff is banged up. They want to get their guys, Caden Sorrell, Gavin Grahovac. They want to get them some ABs, Jorian Wilson, and heal. University of Texas is the same way. You're not going to see them throw Dylan Volantis. You're not going to see them throw Harrison a whole lot. Ruger Riojas only pitched one batter over the weekend. They just want to heal up. Their fate is pretty much set. I mean, both of those teams. Texas is a top 8 seed. A&M highly considered a top 8 seed. This really doesn't do much for them. They'd love to win it. They'd love to get that trophy, but I think those two teams are eyeing the next weekend as being more important than Hoover.
On the top half of the bracket, who do you think makes it to the weekend?
If there was anybody that could do it, I would have to say Ole Miss is the team that you're going to have to look out for. And they can slug with anybody. They're going to play Missouri in game one. Missouri is not the Missouri of last year, but it's a team that Ole Miss should win. And the amount of firepower in the offense early on in this tournament is probably going to carry them. If they beat Missouri, they'll play Mississippi State. Now, they've lost all 4 games this year to Mississippi State, so you have to believe that the odds are going to switch at some point. If you keep putting money on black on the roulette table, at some point it's going to hit red. It may hit red in the SEC tournament. And then Ole Miss has a really good pitching staff with Hunter Elliott. Cade Townsend didn't have the best outing this weekend, but he's been really good. And then the sophomore Taylor Rabe, over his last 2 outings, has had 27 strikeouts. So once they move forward in this tournament with this format, that's
I think we lost Luch. Man, he was right there mid-sentence. All right, well, if Luch is still there, see if we can get it back. I do want to get a pick. I think he said he picked Auburn to win the whole thing, but I would like to get a pick from him if we can. Hey, we're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. You know, I've told you about Shawbills for a decade, and you know, one of the things that I say all the time is they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. They keep you coming back because they treat you like family. And it really is the core of their business. Like, if they ever get a complaint, either from one of their emails they send to the customer or from a Google review or anything like that, it is part of their policy that within 2 hours, not 2 days, 2 hours, you will hear from a manager at Shawbills to try to rectify whatever that wrong was. Like, here's a 5-star Google review from Nancy Cora, who said, Shawbills is very professional, serviced my car in a timely manner. I needed 4 new tires. They had the best price in town. Waiting room is clean. They have space for those that need to work on a computer. It's just thousands upon thousands of 5-star Google reviews at Shawbills because they do what I've said for years. They'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they keep you coming back because they treat you like family. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Schedule service, shop tires online. Shawbills. We keep you rolling. We got Luch back? Okay, cool. Luch, we lost you mid-sentence there. But before, and I appreciate you hopping back. Little short on time, but I think you said you picked Auburn to win it. Who do you have winning the tournament and why?
Yeah, I have Auburn because I think they're just so deep with the pitching staff, and the offense has been really good. I think that's the key. As they move forward in this tournament, their fan base is going to show up, and so the Auburn would be my first pick. Georgia would be the second. Georgia's got a great opportunity with the offense, and they're playing for something. They want to hang this award after winning the SEC outright. They want to add this award before they move forward as a top 8 seed. So Auburn first. If not them, it'd be Georgia.
David DeLucci, SEC Network. Luch, we'll look for you on TV this week, man. Have a great call.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. David DeLucci with us every Monday here during the college baseball season. It has not gone according to plan for Jay Johnson's Tigers. They need a small miracle to get through Hoover, but it starts on Tuesday with the Tigers and the Sooners. Scheduled first pitch at 8 o'clock. Ha! 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 Oh, man. Feel bad for Hunt. Be up writing those game stories for LouisianaSports.net at 2:30.
Best team in the country at 1:17 a.m.
Break out the shirts.
Here we go. That's the path. That's the actual path. Just play at 1:17 a.m. every game.
Start at 1:17
There you
a.m. Go. Pels have a coach. Talk about him next at AFR.
After further review.
Time to get by Clegg's Nursery, y'all. Man, they got an awesome selection. Love this time of year. When the weather is beautiful, hasn't gotten oppressively hot yet, but still an awesome time to get by Clegg's, to see their full greenhouses, the beautiful plants and blooms to add that pop of color to your flower beds, your patio pots, whatever you do, get by Clegg's Nursery. Maybe you're not looking to add that pop of color. Maybe you got that taken care of. Maybe you need to keep the pests away. Maybe you got anthills popping up, or you got weed grass or weeds in your lawn and your garden. Maybe it's mosquitoes. Clegg's Nursery can help you get rid of all the unwanted pests as well. Wasp spray and everything. All you got to do is get by Clegg's. You want to make your outdoor space, your backyard, an outdoor oasis? Man, Clegg's can help you do it. So get by any of the 4 locations and buy local, shop local. Bypass the big box stores and tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I actually like this hire. I think Jamal Mosley is a hell of a coach. I don't think he deserved to be fired from the Orlando Magic, but that's neither here nor there. Great job by Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver. Although, I would have liked to see my brother, Rajon Rondo, get that job. I'm just saying.
That's Kendrick Perkins. Pelicans have hired Jamal Mosley, and I know the reaction mostly to this has been, we had Jake Madison with us from Locked On Pels in hour one, and he described it regularly as a safe hire. And I understand that. Jamal Mosley is not the splash hire that would have gotten a lot of attention. But the way that I would say it in contrast is, who is the candidate, who is the realistic candidate that you could have hired that would have made everybody go, yeah, like fist pumping, pounding the table, fired up. I just don't know that that person exists. Like, if Michael Malone wasn't coaching North Carolina and you could hire a coach that's won an NBA title, I guess I could have been down with that for sure. Does he come with Jokic? I mean, I look at Mosley, 47 years old, had a short NBA career, played internationally, and as a coach, began with the Nuggets in 2005, was in Cleveland from 2010 to 2014, an assistant in Dallas from 14 to 21. Then he went to the Magic, where he became a head coach for the first time. And he got the Magic to the postseason each of the last 3 years. Very notably, this year they blew a 3-1 series lead to Detroit, and that got him fired. Okay. With the NBA, when you're talking about a head coach, I don't mean to minimize the impact of a coach. I think it is very important, obviously, how you manage minutes, how you maximize your roster, your rotations, all that matters. I'm not minimizing that in any way. I also know it to be unequivocally true that it doesn't matter if Christ Almighty descended from heaven and sat on the bench for the New Orleans Pelicans. The roster as it's constructed right now ain't winning nothing. So, unless if you have superstar players in the NBA, you're not winning anything of significance. And the way you get superstar players is through the draft. And the Pels didn't top 10 protect their pick this year because they're a bad organization. And so you're not going to add a superstar player this year. My hope is Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears continue to grow and develop to become superstar players. Certainly look like you hit on those guys. It's what we hoped Zion would become when you got him 1 overall. It's what we hoped AD would become. Now, AD became a legit all-NBA player. The rosters around him were never good enough. He was never healthy enough. And for a lot of various reasons, they never, and the Western Conference was stacked. And so they never advanced beyond a conference semis. So more even than Mosley, like I asked the question, what are you going to do to improve your roster this offseason? And you're very limited in what you can do. Pretty clearly, you got to add a big. Well, who's out there? I mean, you just look at free agents, either restricted or otherwise. Like unrestricted free agents, Porzingis is unrestricted. Nikola Vucevic is unrestricted. Mitchell Robinson, Yusuf Nurkic is unrestricted. Al Horford. I mean, does any of that get you excited? I mean, Walker Kessler as a restricted free agent. Do you go make a trade? I mean, I don't know what calls Joe Dumars is making around the NBA, what he's willing to do. It's interesting. Jake Madison was here in hour one, floated the idea of trading Herb Jones, maybe Herb Jones in a 1 for a legit, top 5 big somewhere. Okay, that's interesting. We all love Herb. I mean, Herb's been amazing. But as your team is constructed right now, you're not winning. To get something of value, you got to give something of value. So all that to say, look, Jamal Mosley had great defensive teams in Orlando. I mean, you can look at the numbers each year that he was there. They were number 3 in the NBA in total defense in the 23-24 season. They were number 2 in the 24-25 season. They were 11th this year in total defense. So, I mean, this is what he's coming to do, is to be a strong defensive-minded coach. Okay, I'm good with that. But what I also know is that Steve Kerr was winning championships with Golden State every year. And then Steph Curry gets hurt, and Klay Thompson gets hurt, and they're picking in the lottery. Did Steve Kerr forget how to coach? No, you need stars. I think the Pels have some good young talent. They don't have stars. Why did OKC win the championship? They've got a 2-time and are favored to win it again because they've got a now back-to-back NBA MVP. It ain't hard to figure out. You can be good. You can win games. If you want to compete for championships, I don't care who the coach is, you have to have star players. And the Pelicans don't. And they won't unless they pick at the top of the draft again, and they're not doing that this year. So it's hard to get excited. So if you're in the meh category, I'm with you in the meh category. Jamal Mosley, Pelicans coach, he'll be introduced a week from Tuesday. Gail Benson is obviously out of town at the NFL owners meetings. And so they wanted to wait and do the press conference when she's back. So they'll do it next Tuesday when Jamal Mosley will be introduced. Hey, we're running about First South Farm Credit. If you want to react to that, please. I mean, if you have a different opinion, if you're really excited about Jamal Mosley, tell me why. I'd be curious. Email me, tweet me, text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Right about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. By the way, that's land anywhere in the lower 48. They got offices in Louisiana, in Mississippi, in Alabama, more than 40 offices to serve you. So you can work with a local loan officer who lives near you, and they can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48. Buying land is not like buying a home. There are different considerations and how financing works. So work with a loan officer that has helped Louisianians buy land for their entire career. First South Farm Credit's been doing that for more than 100 years. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for being here with us. Remember, our Monday shows is always brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. We did hear from today both Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore. The Saints had their Hall of Fame golf tournament earlier today. Last hour, we sort of focused on what was maybe the newsiest item that Loomis said. Can you play 5, please? This was what Mickey Loomis, this was the one news item. This was a short clip. Go ahead.
Do they both have contract offers from you?
Cam certainly does. Taysom does not.
So Cam has a contract offer from the Saints. Taysom Hill does not have a contract offer from the Saints. Obviously, it would stand to reason Taysom's time in New Orleans is over. Cam has an offer, but it's not what he wants, hence why he hasn't signed. And the market for Cam being very soft, obviously why he doesn't have another offer elsewhere. So we'll continue to wait and see how that one may play out. Let me knock out a break, though. We'll come back and we'll dive in a little bit more what both Kellen Moore and Mickey Loomis had to say about this offseason, the schedule release last week, and more. We'll do that as we continue. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Stick around. Otterlocks in 15 minutes. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Blue Bonnet. Gorgeous sprawling hotel property on Bluebonnet across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row, and inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge is Tallulah, a true casual upscale dining experience. If you haven't been to Tallulah, what an awesome time to check it out. A couple of weeks ago, I popped in, got to visit with Chef Reed, new executive chef at Tallulah, who they sort of gave him carte blanche to remake the menu. And, man, they have some dynamite options. Go check it out at Renaissance Baton Rouge. It's delicious. It's affordable with so many great options from chicken and lamb and beef and pork. You got to check out all the great options at Tallulah inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge. It's an awesome spot to have a client lunch if you want something quick that's delicious and affordable. Tallulah inside Renaissance Baton Rouge. Maybe you want a cocktail or dinner after work. Tallulah inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet. Check them out. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
Every ounce of Raising Cane's lemonade has been hand-squeezed that day from fresh lemons before being served over our signature crushed ice. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrolled.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
We'll get to Jimmy for Auto Locks here in about 15 minutes from right now. Monday was the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament, and it's annually one of those times in the offseason calendar when Saints GM Mickey Loomis and head coach Kellen Moore, or whomever the head coach may be in this instance, obviously Kellen Moore, meet with reporters to talk about the offseason and a variety of different things. This is the first time that Loomis and Moore met with reporters since the schedule has been released. And Mickey Loomis kind of reacted to the 2026 schedule.
Yeah, I always look at it like we're going to have, our requisite home games and our requisite away games and how they fall. There's not much we can do about it, so you just kind of take it in and you look at hey, what are the logistics that may change, if you have short weeks, or, in this case, we have a game in Paris, so, we work out the logistics. It was a little bit of a surprise that we had an away game with the Giants prior to Paris, but that's going to work out nicely because it shortens the trip if we go immediately after the game.
So he's kind of confirming what we assumed, is that they'd be in New York and then in week 6, and then would just go straight from New York to Paris for their week 7. It would help alleviate the some of the jet lag instead of coming home and then going. But the one thing that we had kind of heard was the Saints were lobbying for a Thursday game before they went to Paris, but that obviously didn't happen. From a Kellen Moore perspective, his conversation was more about the players on the field. Naturally, he's the coach. And one of the big conversations, in addition to Cam Jordan and Taysom Hill, is Alvin Kamara and what's going to happen there. I'll remind you, the Saints restructured Alvin Kamara's contract a few months ago, and they used a seldom-used loophole in the contract to restructure. And my point has been, you wouldn't do that if you didn't intend to move on from Alvin Kamara. From an on-field perspective, Kellen Moore was asked if he'd like this all rectified with Kamara before OTAs and camp.
Timelines are always great, not always allowed, and I think part of the off-season process during phase 3 is, you're still going through a little bit of the building process. You're still finalizing some things, and so that comes with time. We understand that, during OTAs, and so most places I've been, naturally there's different things popping up in phase 3, but we're getting close.
The component of this with Kamara is there is an underlying financial, obviously an underlying financial component to this, as Loomis talked about.
Does he currently have a decision to make on a revamped contract or something?
No, not currently, no.
So with OTAs starting next week, is that a deadline to try and figure out who's on the roster? And who's
that creates a little bit of a deadline, yes. But it's not hard and fast.
And you mentioned resource management. Is that about the contract?
Yeah, sure, certainly, yeah. It's about how we manage our cap, and we'll get to that.
I want to remind you that Ross Jackson wrote a piece over at LouisianaSports.net that is it's really well done, that explains the restructure that the Saints used for Alvin Kamara. And by the way, even reading that, I still don't understand it. Ross did an awesome job explaining it. I legit still don't get it. But it falls very much in the category of actions speak louder than words. You don't go to the great lengths to exercise this very seldom used restructure for nothing. You don't just do it because the guy in the corner office needs busy work, right? You're doing it with some intentionality. And so Mickey Loomis being asked there about Kamara, about the financial component, kind of tells you the story here. So I also think it's interesting, as awkward and non-committal as his answer was, to me, I read that as he has the answer, he's just not going to say it. And I think the answer is Alvin Kamara is not going to be on the New Orleans Saints. I feel that way. Remember, Scott Shanley was here with us last week, and he said the exact same thing. It was his feeling. So, I'm just a bald dork who sits here and talks on the radio and YouTube every day. That's the guy who played in the NFL and still works for the team, creating content for the team on game days, and has gone through these contract situations and knows way more about it than I do. I am going to be fascinated, though, if Kamara is not on the team, you went and paid Travis Etienne this offseason. You went and paid Travis Etienne this offseason. Thank you. I mean, don't slide. I want my dings, dog. You know what I mean? Give me my dings. I deserve it. I worked hard to get that. Anyway, you went and paid the running back. Aside from him, you're talking about Devin Neal, Kendre Miller is the guy we just haven't talked about really at all this offseason, who's still there. He's just been out of sight, out of mind. And this is a guy who's a former third-round pick who was injured and missed the bulk of last season. He's missed the bulk of his entire career to this point. Kellen Moore was asked if they expect, well, he was asked about Jordan Tyson, but also asked about Kendre Miller if he expects him to be on the field for OTAs.
We'll just see. Yeah, I mean, that's next week, so we'll just see where they're at. You know, I think all these rookies, we're kind of trying to build them up. I think the main thing is phase 3 is really a ramp up into training camp, and so that's the main focus. And so we'll see where they're at.
That's going to be clearly a position to watch, because if you don't feel like you have another option after Travis Etienne, then maybe it is Alvin. But I think it's a thing where he's going into the offseason workouts having to earn his roster spot. And they have restructured his contract with the intentionality of saying, if he ain't good, like if we got a better option, a younger option, he's gone. We have someone here. We've already given ourselves the financial protections to make it happen the way that it needs to happen. So I know this, it really feels uncomfortable because I kind of feel like we've had the same conversation for months about Cam and about Alvin. And there's just been no development. At least not publicly. So I don't know that there's much more to say. We'll watch and see how it plays out through this offseason. But it feels like the path the ground has been laid for what the Saints are inevitably going to do, which is obviously Taysom Hill does not have an offer. It certainly feels like Alvin's restructure has opened the door for him to be out. They've offered Cam a contract, but it's not financially what Cam wants, so this feels like a take it or leave it, because we've just seen this with New Orleans over the years. When it comes to free agents, no matter who they are in contracts, they have their number, and it's odd because as fiscally irresponsible as they've been with restructures and dead money over the past decade, when it comes to signing or re-signing their players and free agents, they have a number, they don't go over it. I mean, Mark Ingram went to the Ravens over a matter of $200,000. Which is absurd. But that's how hard and fast they are. So I don't think the Saints are going up on their offer to Cam. It's just a matter of, are you going to take this? Are you going to retire? Or will someone give you a deal you want? And it sure doesn't feel like anyone's giving him the deal he wants. So that's the one that feels the most up in the air to me. Follow. Saints will hit the field for OTAs coming up here shortly. At the end of May and then into June, they'll have OTAs. They'll get toward mini camp and then a little off time in July until they hit training camp at the end of July. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the Saints, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Y'all get on by. You can see our friends over at Rouse's, any Rouse's location. Remember, every single week they always have great deals on groceries. So if you're out grocery shopping, make sure you get by Rouse's.com. You can see the weekly ad at Rouse's.com. And they do a really good job of posting all the deals on their social media as well. Maybe you're heading home tonight. You're looking for dinner. You can always remember the hot bar menu. That's every day of the week. They have awesome hot bar options. Like today, Monday, is smothered pork chops with gravy and mac and cheese, red beans and rice and sausage, dirty rice, lima beans and sausage and cobbler. I mean, they got great hot bar options every day of the week for lunch or for dinner, for you, for the whole family. Pop on in, grab and go. It's Rouse's. 76 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, points in between. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all. We're not going to final break of the show. Come back. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. It's been a really good show. If you missed anything, Jake Madison was here in hour one reacting to the Pels hiring Jamal Mosley. We had Adam Rittenberg here from ESPN.com. He was out at Big Ten meetings in California. David DeLucci just a bit ago. At the top of hour two, we discussed the very real possibility of Stephen Milam returning for a senior season, why that might actually be a realistic possibility. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. So book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. All right, final break. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks to wrap up the show next. Don't you move.
AFR.
If you're buying or selling your home, you need Darren James. Give you Darren's cell. Do it right now. Write it down. Punch it in your phone. 335-7666. 335-7666. 335-7666 or agent225.com. Y'all, if you're thinking of selling your home, most people think, I'll do it myself. Save on agents' commissions. Told you this for years. 72% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. 3 out of 4. For a variety of reasons. Save yourself the time, the money, the aggravation. Get it right the first time. So you're going to hire a realtor. Who are you going to hire? Your friend Susan, your cousin Mark, whoever it may be. How about you hire the realtor that literally sells more homes than anyone? Gives an exceptional customer service experience and gets results. It's Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor of the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool,
Better coverage for less money. That's what I've been telling you for years when it comes to Insurance Network of Louisiana. That's extended to your business as well. If you're a business owner, I want you to remember, Insurance Network of Louisiana works with top-rated carriers. So you're talking about the best insurance companies. And they shop to find you better coverage for your business for less money. Every single business owner, we are all, every one of us, who owns a business, you are concerned with your bottom line. It's not the only thing, but point of business is to make money. And if there are ways that you can audit your spending to save money, why wouldn't you do that? And this is totally free. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop for free to see if they can get you better coverage on your business to help save you money every single month. And you're always going to get exceptional customer service. You will know your agent. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Wrap up the show the same way every day. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
You had the golf guy, Ray, winning the whole thing, right? Ray, whatever, what was his name? I never even heard of that guy.
No, nobody did. The books cleaned house on that one.
No kidding.
So, yeah. Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
man.
Yes, indeed. And so, but he won it, man. Everybody was struggling and everybody was complaining about the pin placement and then the wind on Saturday in the afternoon. I mean, he lit it up on the back nine, and, he started off with an eagle on 9, and so, no, he won it. So, fair and square. So, a lot of the PGA, man, it seems like it's just the bastard child of the majors, man. They just get beat up no matter what they do. It's too easy. It's too hard. I don't know. It seems that they move it around. That nobody is pleased when it comes to the PGA. So anyway, except Aaron Ryan. So he can handle it. Let's get to the
He's
picks
a major
tonight.
champion, Yemen. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, indeed. Okay, OKC. I've battled with this one, and I was kind of leaning towards San Antonio earlier, but man, I'm gonna let the old school, what is paid more dividends in the postseason than anything, and that is postseason experience, seasoning in there. And OKC has massive experience advantage compared to San Antonio. So they also get Jalen Williams back, who was hurt in Game 2 of their first round of matchups, so he's missed the last 6. They have not lost a game in the playoffs. They're 8-0. They're 6-2 against the spread. It's a little bit higher than I'd like to lay, but it's not my favorite pick. But just to release a pick, I'm taking Oklahoma City minus 6.5.
Okay. OKC minus 6.5. And you got 3 on the diamond?
Yep. Phillies, first of all, they were such a disappointment this year. They fired their manager. Don Mattingly has stepped in. They have won 4 in a row. They've won 7 of 8, and all of a sudden showing signs of getting back into it. Maybe before they really get hot, we're going to a soft line here at home. Philly minus 118 against the Reds. So they go back to the well with that.
That one, by the way, is in game. They're in the bottom of the first. The Phillies have a runner on second with nobody out. So the in-game money line is minus $1.73. So
I would lay off.
Yeah, if you missed it, you missed it. Unless if Cincy manages to get out of this without allowing a run.
In the words of my friend, if you missed it, you missed it. There you go, Matthew. There you go. So, Washington over 10. Mets a little momentum, as you might know, with their 2-out, 3-run homer to tie it in the bottom of the 9th against the Yankees. They win it in extras, showing the little signs. We love the Washington Nationals. Talked about them again. Atlanta Braves, the highest scoring team in baseball. Washington is number 2. We're going to take the Nationals over 10, although these totals are starting to get a little bit high, so I'm not sure how much longer we're going to ride it. But until it doesn't hit, we're going to take the Nationals over 10.
By the way, that one, if you grab it now, is it's fluctuating as their top one right now. It's been fluctuating 9.5, 10.5. I just grabbed it at 9.5. If you want to in game it, you can. If you're on the app now, you can play with it a little bit, but you might be able to get a better number than 10.
The official term is toggling. So let's go on to.
Excuse me.
I'm joking. It's a JK. All right, Boston.
It's a JK.
minus 111. Let the Fighting Musos. Hey, look, Sonny Gray. We know about him. Bandy boy. He's a talented pitcher. Nobody's ever going to take that away from him. But he's kind of in form right now. So he's been pitching pretty good lately. They're winning his starts as of late. We're going to take Sonny Gray at a very, very soft price at minus 111.
All right, so three plays on the diamond, and then OKC laying the 6.5 tonight in Game 1 against San Antonio. So the Thunder minus 6.5. You got the Phillies, which I'm looking at the in-game. Let's see, 2 on, nobody out. Yeah, that's getting a little outrageous right now. But if you want to try it, if you want to watch it, maybe live bet, you can. Mets Nationals over 10, and then if you toggle, you might be able to get a better number. And then the Red Sox on the money line laying minus $1.11. All right, Otter, where are you tomorrow?
We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson.
All right, catch Ott and Hanny every weekday from 11 to 1 tomorrow at Mike Anderson's. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, thanks, man. We appreciate it. Always love reminding you about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Graduation in the rearview mirror, Mother's Day in the rearview mirror. Maybe you're thinking of popping the question. Good time of the year for that. Popping the question. Thinking of popping the question. Get by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They'll treat you great. Beautiful diamond. They'll never pressure you into the purchase. You're doing something that's a sign, symbol of your love and affection and devotion and commitment forever. Something that'll be passed through your family for generations. Do it right. Go to Lee Michaels. LMFJ.com is the website. 9 locations in all. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. You can shop them online at LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Yes! It's a great time to get engaged. Cassie got engaged over the weekend. How about it? Let's go. What a devastating decision for you, Cassie. Don't do it. It's a bad life choice. Don't do that. Don't get married.
Why?
I was just kidding. I was just being completely facetious. Congratulations. Did you know that Adam was proposing?
I was a little suspicious, but I convinced myself that he wasn't doing it. So
Why?
I was still surprised.
Why did you?
I didn't want to ruin it.
He also proposed in the middle of the street between North Stadium, between Tiger Stadium and the PMAC. And I'm like, you're lucky there wasn't like a school bus coming down North Stadium at that time.
Yeah, but graduation was going on, so the streets were closed. And
That's
it was fine.
Glad that worked out. Well, congratulations, Cassie. We're very excited for you and Adam. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Muse, Cassie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Getting on down the road. Remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. But their number one product is always customer satisfaction. It's not lip service, man. You talk to Brandon and Adrian Holly, you will get it. Have one conversation, and you'll get it. The integrity, the responsibility they feel when you invite their business, their brand, their name into your home to do work at your home, your family, they take that commitment, that responsibility very seriously. So, you want to get the best windows, the best customer service, lifetime transferable warranty, and owners their commitment is they'd spend their last dollar to make their customers happy. You want Relief Windows. They'll never be the cheapest, but they will always be the best. It's Relief Windows. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at DecisionCriticalBR.com and give us a call today to get started.